Alex Albon is one of the most fascinating drivers in the world of Formula 1 today. He's experienced the highs and the lows of the sport, from scoring podiums with Red Bull and driving next to Max Verstappen, to being dropped from the team and spending a year on the sidelines. But he never gave up on his dream, and he fought his way back to a race seat with Williams for 2022. And ever since he's jumped in that Williams car, he's been showing the world what he's capable of and what he can really do. This is the story of Alex Albon's resurgence in the world of Formula 1. But how did Alex Albon end up losing his seat at Red Bull in the first place? And what did he do to earn another chance in Formula 1? Let's take a look at his rollercoaster journey with the energy drinks giant, all the way to his Williams journey today. Now, Alex Albon joined the Red Bull Junior team in 2012, and he progressed through the junior ranks, reaching Formula 2 in 2017. He impressed with his speed and his racecraft, and he finished third in the 2018 Formula 2 Championship behind George Russell and Lando Norris. He was initially set to join Nissan's Formula E team for 2019, but he got a last-minute call-up from Red Bull to join Toro Rosso for the 2019 season. Of course, he accepted this deal to go into Formula 1, and he made his race debut in Australia. After 12 races, he was promoted to Red Bull Racing, replacing the underperforming Pierre Gasly at a time where Red Bull seemed to be a revolving door of second drivers. He scored his first points for the team in Belgium and finished in the top 6 at every single race except for Brazil in that season, where he was taken out by Lewis Hamilton while running in second. He ended his rookie season 8th in the standings, and at the time, Horner stated that Alex has been performing extremely well since his debut with the team in Belgium, and his results, 7 finishes in the top 6, speak for themselves. However, he also highlighted that Albon would need to do more to get closer to Max for 2020 to be able to stay with the Red Bull team. In 2020, Albon faced much more challenges than he expected. He struggled to match his teammate Max Verstappen, and he also struggled to cope with the tricky RB16 car. He scored 2 podiums, one in Mugello and one in Bahrain, but he also had several incidents and missed opportunities. He finished 7th in the championship, far behind Verstappen, who was in 3rd. All of this led to the decision of Red Bull to replace him with Sergio Perez for 2021. They demoted him to a test and reserve driver role for the following season. Albon didn't have another role for Formula 1, so he remained loyal to Red Bull and focused on developing the RB16B car and preparing for 2022. Albon also raced in DTM, the AF Corsa, where he won 3 races and he finished 6th overall in the standings, where his teammate was also Liam Lawson. FYI, there's a great series on YouTube to cover all of the DTM journey, so you can watch that after this video. But again, Albon's F1 story was not over yet. Thanks to his hard work and dedication, he secured a comeback drive with Williams for 2022, where he replaced George Russell, who moved to Mercedes. And he's been showing everyone why he belongs in F1 ever since. Albon was a revelation for Williams in 2022. He scored points in 3 races, and he helped the team climb up the constructors' standings. He scored his first points for the team in Australia, where he finished 10th after starting from P20 in an incredible drive. He also repeated a similar feat in Miami, where he finished 9th from 18th on the grid. He then added 1 more point in Belgium, where he survived a pretty chaotic race at Spa. He also impressed just generally with his race pace and his general consistency throughout the races. If we look at Brazil and Saudi Arabia, for example, he just narrowly missed out on the top 10 race after race. And another note, not that it means too much considering his teammate was about as quick as your grandma pushing a shopping trolley, he did beat his teammate 18-2 in the head-to-head qualifying for the season over Go Tiffy. So Albon has proved himself to be a fast and reliable driver who can adapt to different conditions and challenges. He's also formed good relationships with Latifi and the rest of the Williams team, who've praised his feedback and his contributions to the car development and his overall attitude as a driver. Albon has earned the respect and admiration of both his peers and fans overall, and his return to Williams seems to be the greatest thing that's happened to the driver. And this just seems to be the beginning for the Thai driver. As soon as he's left that Red Bull environment, he seems to be able to show his colours and show what he can actually do as a driver. Now, moving on to 2023, it has been a bit of a mixed bag for Albon so far. He scored points in the season opener in Bahrain, where he finished 10th after a very solid drive. However, he did suffer brake failure in the second race in Saudi Arabia, which forced him to retire whilst he was just generally running in the midfield. It looked like he bounced back. He was on track for a great weekend there in Australia, where he qualified an impressive 8th, and he set the fastest time in the middle sector consistently throughout that last session. He also had a great start to the chaotic race that was the Australian Grand Prix. However, after racing within the midfield and coming up to 6th, he did end up spinning at the high speed section and ending his race in the gravel. Despite his bad luck and few mistakes this season, Albon has showed that he does have remarkable driving skills and potential. He's been pushing that Williams car way beyond its limits, which is probably why he ended up spinning in Australia in the first place. I mean, the Williams was up there following cars in P6 that were much faster than he was. It's amazing to see how Albon has recovered from this difficult time he had at Red Bull, and he's found his confidence and form again at Williams. He's quickly becoming my favourite driver on the grid, and I do hope that he continues to showcase his skill and have more entertaining and spectacular races and moments throughout the rest of the season. Of course, if all goes well, I'd love to see him in a similar car to George or Lando or Leclerc, or just another driver so we can see where his skills really land and where he truly ranks along the current drivers in the sport. But thanks for watching this story about Alex Albon, F1's comeback kid. If you've enjoyed it and want to support the channel further, please check out my top 5 modern F1 races video. I've linked it down below in the description, or you click the tag above.